Question number 55 is, can you elaborate a little bit more on how you balance between self-organizing teams and supporting the teams? How do you do that?
I think that's a really tough one. It requires you as a Scrum Master to have proper antennas when it comes to the ability of your Scrum team to self-manage and in what levels. I think in the beginning you will be more in that. If you look back at the 8 choices of a Scrum Master, you would be more on taking action, teaching, and paving the way, leading by example, and so on, and setting the stage, and maybe do some mentoring here and there. But ultimately, you want to guide your team to be as self-managing and self-efficient as possible. I always compare this to Superman. Have you ever seen the Superman movies?
Yes, part of them.
Part of them. What would happen if Superman would get hit by COVID and he would be bedbound, and then the alien invasion comes in? People are screwed because they don't know how to defend themselves because they're all relying on Superman. Don't become your organizational Superman. Don't have people look for everything and anything to you as a Scrum Master. Teach them to be self-managing. And at times you want to, you know, remove an alien here and there, and then try to remove the impediments that are hampering the Scrum team from being as effective as possible.
Yeah, and you say teach them to be self-managing. What does that mean, or how can you do that?
I think of this like my kids. I have a son of 8 and twins of 4, and I taught them all to ride a bike. I could do this by one of my personal pitfalls: assume self-management and that they are self-sufficient, and or like my kids say, I'm going to teach you how to ride a bike. I could do that in multiple ways. I could give you a bike without training wheels and then say, see ya grandma, bye, but it's going to be a big disaster because they're going to fall down. They're never going to want to ride their bike again. They don't want to do Scrum ever again because it's a super painful and confronting experience. Or I'm going to be the guiding rails. I'll provide them with the training wheels, and then the more that they start to gain that knowledge, gain the experience, and gain the self-confidence, then the more that you can start letting go of those training wheels. So the more you as a Scrum Master could step back and say, you could do this on your own. And sometimes they'll come back and say, could you please do this for me? Or could you put this in Jira or anything else? No, you can do this by yourself. I'm pretty sure that you can. If shit hits the fan, come back to me, I'll help you, but try to do this as much as possible by yourself.
If you want to get your team more self-managing, it's not that you take off the guardrails and you say, okay, you're self-managing from now on. No, you will take them off step by step and you see what happens. And of course, they can appeal to you if the shit hits the fan, but let them try and see if they can do it themselves.